First of all, it's a pleasure to be with you here today, and I'm personally honored and excited to attend this session more than anyone. So just to briefly introduce Dr. Fevzi, right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
He's the Pegasus professor and the Central Florida Hotel and Lodging Association. And the preeminent chair professor with the Hospitality Service Department at the University of Central Florida's Rosen College of Hospitality Management. He was the founding chair of the Hospitality Services Department at UCF Rosen College. His main teaching and research areas include strategic management, leadership, hospitality management, services marketing, training, and lodging. He also has served on the chaired and co-chaired numerous preferred journal articles. He co-chaired numerous PhD dissertation and master thesis committees. He has over 330 academic publications, over 230 referred journal articles, 7 books, 12 book chapters, and 90 conference presentations and reports. As of June 15th, 2025, his publications received more than 32,600 citations. Wow, that's so impressive, Doctor. And he has an H index of 80. Professor Okumus has been recognized as a highly cited researcher in 2021, 2022, and 2023, and also 2024 by Clarivate, based on data from the Web of Science. Highly cited researchers. And one in the 1,000 of the world's population of scientists and social scientists. He also is the editor-in-chief of the International Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management, with an impact factor of 9.1, and that's a very high impact factor. And the Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Insights, with the impact factor of 4.8. He is also the founding editor of the Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Horizons, which has been recently launched in January in 2025. He is a frequent speaker at international conferences, has received numerous prestigious research awards and recognitions, including the Michael D. Olson Research Award in 2016, the University of Central Florida Scroll and Quill Society Award in 2017, the CFHLA Preeminent Professor again in 2017. That was a very lucky year. And the John Wiley and Sons Lifetime Research Achievement Award from ICHRIE in 2018. Also recently, our professor has received the Pegasus Professor Award in the University of Central Florida, which is the highest honor for a faculty member at his current university. I cannot express how honored I am to be moderating this session today, and looking forward, all the attendants, to benefit from it. Without any further delay, Doctor, it's a pleasure, and please go ahead and you can start right away.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. It is morning here, 8:15, I think, here in Orlando, Florida, in the United States. It's 8:23. We are running a little bit late, but we still have time. Thanks for this inviting me to deliver this webinar. I think this is very meaningful. By delivering it, by no means I mean that I'm an impactful academic. We are still trying, I'm still trying to make a positive impact. And I want to share my opinion, my experience for the last 30 years. I joined academia in 1990 as a lecturer research assistant. So almost 35 years I've been in academia. I've worked with very impactful, highly recognized scholars, and I worked in Turkey. I lived and did my master's and PhD in England. I lived in Hong Kong, and then also for the last 20 years, I've been here in Orlando, Florida, at the Central Florida Hotel at the University of Central Florida in Orlando. Basically, before we start, I want to give some information about the journals I'm editing. In 2007, I became the editor of the International Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management. What's happening? Okay. Basically, we publish anything related to latest developments and current thinking on the management of hospitality and tourism businesses worldwide. 2023, we received around 1900. Last year, little bit over like 1969 submissions. As of today, we received 933 articles. So we will reach again similar numbers. We have a desk rejection about 40 to 50%, and acceptance rate is only 9 to 12%. So we publish 12 issues and 210 articles annually. And last year, almost 1 million articles were downloaded from IJCHM. Our recent impact factor is 9. We are the third, we have the highest impact factor among all hospitality and tourism journals, the third. That's an impressive figure. And our Scopus site score is 18.2. We are relatively fast. We make the decision, the first desk rejection or screening in 7 days, and then if it goes out to reviewers, on average 49 days. And we at least invite 3 to 4 reviewers. We get feedback at least from 3 reviewers to make a decision. And then in 4 to 6 months, we make a decision on the submission. And in 2017, we worked on a new journal proposal because IJCHM was receiving amazing submissions. And then in 2018, we launched a Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Horizons. And basically, it has grown tremendously. It is unbelievable. We are very proud. 2022, 640 submissions. 2023, 960. Last year, 1366. As of today, this morning, 741. I think by the end of this year, we will easily reach 1,400 submissions. JHTI is an emerging citation index journal, not SSCI. Despite that, its impact factor is 4.8, and then site score is 8.3. So it has higher impact factors than many already established SSCI journals, and we are very proud of Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Horizons. But in this journal, we publish both hospitality and tourism related articles. And recently, we launched a sister journal to the Insights and Contemporary journals. It's called Journal of Hospitality and Tourism Horizons, because we receive so many submissions to Contemporary journal and also Insights. So we reject most of them. Some are really still good, but because we picked the best of the best, so we decided to launch another journal. I am not into day-to-day operations. I oversee the process. We have a managing editor, both for Insights as well as for Horizon. And surprisingly, we are very pleased. So far, we have received 96 submissions, almost one submission every 2-3 days. It's going really well. And then our first issue has been recently published, and we are very, very proud of it. So having promoted the journals, we can now move forward to discuss impactful academic. Who is an impactful academic? What is academic impact? And then 3 core pillars of academic life: research, teaching, and service. And then also the discussion about a balanced, ethical, intentional academic career. And then also we can discuss, are there other additional dimensions and areas to become an impactful academic? So defining academic impact, basically, there are 4 areas in academia in terms of to discuss impact. Scholarly impact is research and grants. Educational impact is teaching, pedagogy, curriculum development. Service impact is leadership, is being a department chair, taking leadership roles, being a dean and even higher, and or serving on committees, being an editor is another area, and then also impacting on society positively. So academics should decide which type of impact they most aspire to make. Some love research, some love teaching, some love basically admin leadership roles, but it's important for all of us to consider, especially young academics, to think about. But mostly when we talk about academic impact, we talk more about scholarly impact than educational and service. But for me, it's all around that we have to make an impact in all areas. All right. When you really discuss the impact in academia, number 1 is knowledge creation, basically creating new knowledge, new theories, new concepts, new products, and then moving from there to teaching and learning, transferring this learning into teaching and learning, and then also working with the industry. I always like medical schools. They do research, they teach their students, but on the spot they practice what they learn, all their research practices, and then changing public policies, rules, regulations, and laws, and then also impacting economy, making locals and nationals basically better, improving living standards and income levels, and then also making society a better place to live in terms of education, safety, health, and areas. So these are the impact areas. Basically, what we recommend, especially junior researchers, we say we have to maintain a focused and evolving research agenda. Why focus? Because you cannot make an impact if you don't have a focused research agenda. I often see researchers focusing on different topics and jumping from one topic to the next, and you can't really make an impact. You have to be well known in 1 or 2 areas and keep working on it and make a name for yourself in a very positive way. And then also publishing in good journals, high impact journals. Again, there are a lot of discussions. What is an high impact journals? We say those journals who use double-blind review process strictly, and they publish high quality articles, and they are widely accepted as leading journals, we can say that. And sometimes when you're a junior researcher, it's not easy to publish in high impact journals. That's why you need to work with your advisors, colleagues, and improve your knowledge, and also identify what is the contribution, what contribution your paper, your research makes. Of course, books are important, book chapters, conferences, and other publications. But in recent years, we see more and more cross-institutional, interdisciplinary, and international research collaborations to make a name for yourself, to become an impactful researcher. Now we see more and more interdisciplinary research. I'm a hospitality tourism researcher, but I use strategic management, but I also work with scholars from different fields, from marketing, from engineering, from communities, from public relations and IT. So it's important to work on multi and interdisciplinary researchers, and also working with researchers from different countries and cultures. And another thing is, your research agenda should be really closely aligned with the university, local, national, and global needs. Okay? Look at what's going on, what are the key topics, what are the important problems that you can solve, you can help solving. And again, now at many universities, getting grants and contracts are more and more important. I think now it's one of the primary requirements is getting contracts and grants, and it's getting harder and harder. And of course, all research has to make strong theoretical contributions and have some practical implications to improve the practices. And in some areas, we don't have this a lot in hospitality, in social sciences, developing patents, products, and copyrighted materials. These are the important things in terms of research excellence. So this is becoming an excellent researcher, an impactful researcher takes time. I've been in academia for 35 years, and yes, I have over 32,000 citations, but only 5 years, 6 years ago, my citations were only like 9,000, 10,000 citations I had. So in recent years, they boomed. And again, are citations important? To me, yes, but not that important. I think it's the impact, making an impact. And some professors, they really focus on research, publications, grants. They really don't focus on teaching. But to me, I love teaching. And basically, if you want to become an impactful academic scholar, you have to focus on teaching as well. And I would call it teaching with purpose. It is curriculum development. You need to develop new courses or revise and improve existing courses. And there is a discussion, huge discussion, if whether teaching should be student-centered learning or not. I would say yes, but to a certain extent, sometimes we have to challenge our students as much as we support them. And also integrate real-world problems. This is really, really important. Some professors teach the same material for many years, and we need to really enhance and improve and update our curriculum teaching practices semester by semester. This is important. And also integrate our research into our teaching through case studies, chapters, and so forth. And again, here we have experimental learning into curriculum, real life cases, and use of technology. Now AI is shaping our teaching. AI platforms offering a lot of opportunities for professors and students, but I'm also concerned if AI will replace some of our teaching aspects, even some professors in the long term, in terms of curriculum development, in terms of delivery, and so forth. One important aspect of teaching is mentoring junior faculty, graduate students into teaching. That's an important aspect as well. Of course, writing textbook, case studies, and other materials, important in terms of teaching purpose. One other area in relation to becoming an impactful academic is academic service and leadership. Basically, when there are opportunities, we have to serve on committees, and again, if needed, become a department chair and dean, and maybe even assistant dean, associate dean roles. These are really important to serve, and also take leadership roles in professional associations, conferences, and so forth. When I will say every academic should organize at least one conference. That's a huge task. And again, I was a founding department chair at 2 universities, and becoming an administrator and serving and mentoring other faculty and students is an important task, and you make a huge impact. This is really very, very important. And again, being part of accreditation reviews, institutional initiatives, I've been part of many reviews at my current university. And then also I reviewed many programs at other universities. Recently, I was part of a review process of a universities in the Philippines of their master's program existing, even undergraduate, and they are planning to propose a PhD. So that was a very fruitful, very beneficial experience for me. And of course, mentoring junior faculty, PhD students, graduate students, even undergraduate students, alumni is really, really important for all of us. And leadership roles at universities, I will say, when you have an excellent administrator, department chair, associate dean, or excellent university senior administrators, it's a joy to work. But sometimes if administrators don't make the right decisions, it can be really frustrating, and then it can result in major negative impacts on the program and on faculty. So we also, in short, we need to serve as a leader and make sure that our programs are moving forward. The next area is engaging with society and industry. Basically, it's important to translate academic research into policy recommendations, make sure that up to date and it's beneficial for locals and for businesses, and closely work with industry partners. As a senior professor, I love working with our industry partners, offering them training, discussing what keeps them awake at night and how we can solve their problems, and then also working on contracts and sometimes grants and training programs. And partnering with NGOs, government bodies, and businesses is also very important, and associations, of course. And involving students in community-based applied projects and letting students to interact with industry practitioners, professionals. And again, engage in public discourse through blogs and popular media, talking to newspapers. These are really important to be an impactful academic. And then finally here, contribute to local, regional, economic, and social development goals. Really, sometimes we see professors always active working in local, regional, and social development areas, helping the society. But we also see professors, academics, just teach and do research, and then they don't interact at all. We prefer them to be active and all-rounded. And in terms of societal impact, conduct purpose-driven research, and then also really engage in public scholarship, checking what is important for public. For example, in hospitality and tourism, we look at what locals are concerned, how we can help them, as well as tourist satisfaction and intention to visit, and so forth. And in terms of societal impact, we need to work with our industry leaders, researchers, and as mentioned earlier, influence policy and practice. And again, community-based projects and promote sustainability. So these are the four areas we talk about in terms of impact dimensions, impact areas. And what I would like to say here, basically, you can focus a lot on research, teaching, service, and impact on society, but we have to have a balance in terms of how we use our time and resources. So I have seen many researchers in their early careers, they have worked incredibly hard, and then later they burned out, and then they disappeared, or they are almost not doing much. So we have to be resilient. So we need to plan well, and also really our time is important, and then have a clear plan and goals for each year, and also find apps and technology to check our productivity, and sometimes also be able to say no for those things and prioritize what is important to you. As I mentioned earlier, we all need to think, pick a path. Do you want to make an impact in terms of research? Do you want to make an impact in teaching or admin? I have seen wonderful professors. They are amazing teachers. For example, at UCF Rosen College, I have colleagues, they love teaching, they don't do research, but they have found jobs they have helped thousands of students finding jobs. They have helped mentor thousands of students. I think their impact is immense, is incredible, although they don't do research. So we have to decide sometimes which path we will pick. So, and then in academia, we are often approached by different people for different tasks. It's important to be able to say no sometimes, and then make sure that we use our time and resources productively and efficiently. And also balance is important. Quality of life is important. And then also protect time for thinking, writing, and rest. In terms of in academia, if you are really tired mentally and physically, you cannot be really productive in terms of research, writing research articles, working on grants, and so forth. And then finally here, what is important for us is building a personal academic brand. Basically, what are you known for? Fevzi is known for, maybe myself, with my journals globally, that 2-3 journals I have been editing. And then maybe your research in which area, in IT or in consumer behavior or in strategic management or hospitality. So, and then also to support yourself, your online presence, your institutional profile. I have seen professors, they haven't updated their profile for many years. Nothing, the photos and the content and the bio. And ORCID, Google Scholar, LinkedIn, they are really, really important. You need to keep updating. And then also attending conferences, symposiums, panels, and then also your CV, bio, elevator pitch. And then also you need to do interviews time to time with media and so forth. But here is what I see on social media. Sometimes some of our colleagues over promote themselves. Everything they put on social media, sometimes it backfires. My humble recommendation, let your organization, your university to promote your work, not just you keep promoting yourself with every opportunity. It can backfire. Yes. There is a term called academic resilience. In academia, it's not a really red carpet field. Like in any field, any area, there are a lot of failures, a lot of challenges, and then disappointments. And even doing a PhD itself is, we often call PhDs permanent head damage. It's not really easy to complete your PhD. After your PhD, life doesn't get any better. You have to continue publishing, find a job, and family issues, and teaching, and so forth. Okay, and you have to embrace failure as a learning opportunity, never give up, and you have to develop emotional intelligence and coping mechanism, and you have to have a support network of your peers, mentors, family members, collaborators, and we need to look at really look after ourselves to avoid burnout, and then prioritize mental and physical health. We have seen over the years many academics, they left academia because it was too stressful. There wasn't enough support, network support from their mentors, peers, and the university they were working for. And also learn from setbacks and adjust strategies. I have faced challenges by myself, and there were many issues I had to handle. Some days you feel frustrated, but this is like you have to be really careful and keep going. And also maintain healthy boundaries between work and personal life. You know, if I look at myself, I will say I wish I didn't work that much certain days. My daughters, when they were young, they wanted to play with me. I said no. Now I regret. I want to spend time with them now. They say, oh, they are busy. So a missed opportunity from my end. Also, your loved ones, family members, friends, in celebrating milestones, and make intentional time for loved ones and important life events. Also, really integrity, academic ethics, and gratitude are really important. We have to be really careful with especially ethical issues and more in terms of publishing. Okay. And personal relationships with your family members, again with friends, relatives, are very important. And I will say, to become an impactful academic, you need to have really good mentors to guide you, to support you. You can't be an impactful academic continue if you don't have the support system, if you don't have mentors, right? And of course, I mentioned here, prioritize ethical behavior in research, teaching, and collaborations, and show respect to students, staff, colleagues. It's a small world. Your brand image is very important. You can be the top researcher, top teacher, but if you don't show respect to staff, colleagues, and students, it's not a good brand image, right? And then toxic academic politics, stay away. In academia, you often see some politics. Try to avoid as much as possible. And also, basically, finally, I will say, invest in your health and wellness. This is incredibly important. Investing our health and wellness after COVID, especially, we have seen this is more and more important for all of us. So this is great. we have time for questions and answers. Academic impact is not just about publications and metrics. You may have so many articles, you may have so many citations, you may have so many high H index, but it's not just that. And then we have seen many researchers, they don't have many articles, they don't have many publications, citations, but they are really highly respected and appreciated. And academics can make impact as teachers, as administrators. For example, Professor Jafar Jafari, he's the founder of Annals of Tourism Research, and he's seen one of the fathers of tourism and hospitality. He has good publications, but he's well known more about his initiatives, starting many initiatives. Okay, so in terms of publications, it's not just the publication, but many other areas. And also reflect on your values, how they shape your academic path, and commit to being a leader, mentor, learning, and positive force. Support others, appreciate others, and mentor others. Your work matters, but your character, relationship matter even more. Your rankings are important, but when you attend a conference, if people come to you genuinely and appreciate you and thank you, and then also sometimes as an academic, I receive emails from my students 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, and saying, oh, Professor Okumus, you helped me here, you advised me here, you supported me here, you wrote a recommendation letter. Or a PhD student years later comes and says, oh, you know, I didn't listen to you, but now I feel that now you were 100% correct. Now I'm doing it in this way. So it's just guiding, mentoring, and so forth. And finally, becoming an impactful researcher, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes many months and many years of hard work and dedication, many failures, step-by-step slow progress. So don't expect to become an impactful scholar academic in a couple of years' time. It's the journey, it's the process. And you should go travel in this road, in this journey with good friends and those who love you, who support you, and have mentors and so forth. But also look after your physical and mental being and build resilience, I will say. So I stop here and we can have some questions and answers and then a general discussion perhaps. For the sake of time, I was a little bit fast, but again, I will be happy to explain certain areas more and answer questions. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you so much for this great presentation. And one of the things that was mentioned, that you need, for professors, that you need your institution to promote your work for much more credibility. Don't put a lot of your promoting your work yourself all over the social media. It doesn't look good for you. Let your institution, let your where you work, let the journals, let the publishers promote it for you. And this is one of the things that we always advise the researchers, and we tell them, use your publishers marketing and PR campaigns. Use your institutional social media and use, if they have a magazine, if they have like email campaigns, use them. If they have pages, use them. So if it's okay with you, if we can open the floor for some questions from the audiences, Doctor?
Yes, sure. What I like to say, for example, recently I was appointed as the Pegasus professor, okay? This is the highest honor for a faculty member to achieve at my own university, University of Central Florida. I put that on social media, I used it, but I don't put it every article I publish, every conference I attend, and conference organizers may promote let's say me as a keynote speaker, But I see some faculty, some researchers putting almost everything, every step, everything on their social media again and again and again. And then eventually you see, my God, it's just he or she is self-promoting herself, himself far too much. It's it can backfire. But if the university, if the college department, if they do it, that's fine. That's a good thing. Or the publisher or the conference, that's a good thing. Thank you. Yes, we can open up for questions and answers.
Yes, I totally agree with you. We can, I think if they can, maybe they can reshare from the publisher website, or they can reshare from the conference. Like, I'm honored to be attending, or thank you for this opportunity. When the conference people or organizers post, that would be like much more better if you just keep saying that I'll be talking at this conference, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing that. I think it would, yeah, sometimes it might backfire. At the beginning of your session, of course, for the audiences, please, if you'd like to ask any questions, kindly put it in the chat part. There is a questions part that you can share, and you can write your questions, and I will read it for Dr. Fevzi. You were talking about the impact, and for you personally, what does the word impact means as an academic, of course? Like, what defines a real impact for you from your point of view as an academic?
Okay. For me, yes, good question. For me, let's say in research, if my research findings changing something in the literature, improving, and students and researchers are using it, I'm happy about it. So it's a positive impact. It explains things better, it solves problems, and other researchers are citing. And then professors are using in their classrooms. Industry managers are using my framework, my model in their practices, and they are using in their training programs. These are important to me. These are impact. And then if in terms of another impact, if my undergraduate students are doing better, whom I mentored, they are progressing, it's a positive impact. Okay. And the organization I'm working with, or the business, they are improving their business practices, solving their problems. That's an impact to me. Okay. I'm happy that I'm helping them. So these are some brief examples. Or myself, I'm volunteering at let's say, a community event, helping them, regardless of my title or whatever. So just volunteering and supporting them. This is still an impact. Just to give you an example, this last week and this week at UCF Rosen College here in Orlando, we are organizing a summer camp for high school students with disabilities. We have 30 high school students with disabilities, and we are teaching them what hospitality is. And we are guest service, lodging, restaurants, theme parks, events, and how to apply for jobs, and then how to have interviews. And every afternoon we are taking them to field trips to different hotels, theme parks, and so forth. And you can see their development in 2 weeks. The first day they are very shy and nervous. Second day they are better. On the last day they're incredibly, mature, and they talk, they joke, and they come and thank us. So this is an impact, like I will say, in terms of community relations. But we are using our research, we are using our teaching in this summer camp program. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. So we have Professor Reem. She just sent us a question, and she was asking you that she's thanking you for the informative session, and she's saying that as a new researcher, assistant professor, what is your advice for her to be productive in terms of research output, while also maintaining balance with other responsibilities?
Very good question. Okay, is it there are two dimensions, whether she wants to be productive or whether she wants to publish quality articles. Productivity is you can publish 10 articles a year or 5 articles in a year in good journals or okay journals, or sometimes you publish 2 good articles, but they will be really groundbreaking, okay? Developing a new theory or building something on existing theories, but everyone will use it in that area. So my suggestion, yes, you have to have numbers, but on the other hand, you have to focus on quality research. And for that, as a junior researcher, whatever her PhD was on, and with her advisor, or she can form a new team and continue working in that area and building a really focused research agenda in that field and continue publishing in top tier journals. Eventually she will have the numbers, but I would suggest she should focus more on quality of the articles to become an impactful researcher, and then also have 2-3 research teams. One success is I have experience, I'm proud, I have several research teams globally, and we all trust each other. Sometimes we bring in, sometimes we let go certain people if they don't want to continue or they don't do good work. But it helps with having 2-3 research teams, but all related articles, related research topics. But again, not salami publishing, not really saying the same thing again and again. Each paper is original and different. Each project is original and different the previous one. And she should have a 1 or 2 good mentors, and also of course she will have to do many things, and time management is important, and support from her family and not relatives but close friends, peers are also very, very important. It's sometimes people think, oh, academia is easy, but I will say we don't have like a job from 8 to 9 to 5. We work all the time. You have to do so many things, and so many things at a good quality, a high quality level. In summary, she should focus on quality research, form good research teams, have mentors, all right? And then also time management, work-life balance is important. And if you ask me if I have had work-life balance in my life, no, all right? I worked more than I enjoyed life, but in recent years, I'm paying more and more attention. That's why I'm saying, look after your health, your wellness, and have work-life balance in your life, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. There is a lot of questions coming for you. Yes. So one of the questions, let me just read it for you. So yes, one of the questions is, thank you, of course, they're thanking you for, thank you, Professor, for your insights. And this is from Dr. Muhammad Mansi. Now you said teaching and community service are also important areas of achieving impact apart from research, to which I agree, of course, but teaching and social engagements cannot be numerically or metrically measured as the case with research, and are thus less visible and less useful for the academic. Do you agree?
Partially agree, partially disagree, because when you apply for a job, or even within your organization, when you go for promotion and tenure or annual evaluations, they look at your teaching evaluations from students, your teaching performance, how many courses you developed, whether you served on any committees to revise curriculum, propose new degrees. And also, when you apply for promotion for a new job, they always ask, oh, have you developed new courses? Have you developed new curriculum? What are your teaching evaluations over the years? I review many promotion and tenure dossiers, and we always look at the teaching evaluations peer reviews and the activities, everything. So teaching activities can be measured, and there are numbers and figures, and definitely. And community activities also, in terms of service, which organizations you work with, what type of external activities you participated. And these are also valued at my current university, and then at many universities in the universities in the United States and other countries as well. Yes, research, when you publish an article, your name is there. But in teaching also, there are a lot of areas that they can measure, and societal impact, community service, they can measure, and you can do that. And again, on your LinkedIn profile, you can highlight your external activities, all these volunteering or societal activities and services and everything. In your CV, you can put those. For example, faculty members from our college, when they serve on, let's say they serve as a judge, they attend certain industry events, and then they participate, they speak on panels, they always put those things on their CVs. But in terms of seeing it, importance, yes, journal articles, citations are more measurable. I will agree on that. But also on the other hand, research and community activities, you can also measure and then list them. And then administrators pay attention to those. Panel members, reviewers pay attention to those as well. And that's why what I said, you have to decide a path, whether you will become just a pure researcher and make an impact, or pure focus on teaching, or focus on industry or leadership and service. To me, I have tried to do all those things together. For example, Pegasus professorship at UCF, one criteria is, it says the candidate has to excel in all three areas: research in terms of publications, grants, and then teaching, good teaching evaluations, curriculum development, mentoring, and so forth, and service, leadership roles, community activities, and so forth. So it's up to each academic if he will pick one area or all three areas. You can still be a leading person in one area. One area may be more dominant, but in our academic environment, we have to do all those things first to survive and to excel if you want to be highly recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fevzi. I know we exceeded the time a bit, but there is another way we extended the session. There is another question was asked, and it's really many articles. You mentioned that everyone should have a mentor. However, not everyone can have access to find a good mentor. Do you have suggestions how they can identify and find the right mentor?
I think the first mentor, if they're doing their PhD, the first mentor is your PhD advisor. Okay, if my suggestion, continue keeping close relationship with her and him and committee members. And the second is, when you attend conferences, okay, you can approach scholars and talk to them. Don't approach them and say immediately, or can you become my mentor? Because there has to be some chemistry, right? Talk to them, listen to them. For example, Jafar Jafari was one of my mentors. Professor Muzo Uysal has been one of my mentors, and A. Pizem, our founding dean, has been one of my mentors. I could talk to them about different things. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree, right? So basically, you can find mentors, but don't approach immediately. Talk to them a few times, and then see if there is chemistry, and then also mindset, if you have the same mindset. And in terms of, if you cannot find any mentors in your field, in your area, look at leading scholars globally and send them an email, and ask questions. Some of them are really nice and give you advice. Some of them may ignore your email. You don't need many mentors. You may need 1 or 2 or 3, but conferences are the best places to find mentors. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Can we have another question or two? And then I don't want to take much of your time, but people were very excited for your session today. And Dr. Samir is telling you that he's thankful for the insightful session. And his question is what are the key features of a good impact assessment paper that highlights implementing research findings and assessing their impact after a certain period? And also, how can they approach writing? How can they approach writing this impact analysis paper?
Okay, he is asking, if I understand correctly, an impactful article, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
He's asking about what are the features of an impactful article, and how they can be assessing their impact after a certain period, and how they can approach writing this impact analysis paper.
Okay. The impactful article is basically, it identifies a gap in theory, in research, in practice. Okay. So there is a gap, and existing theories, concepts are limited, are not answering. But as an editor, we see every paper says, oh, there is a gap. Okay. When you really read it, and if you are an expert in that field, you say, there isn't a gap. There are theories about it. And they say, oh, but this paper focuses on let's say, in India, to give you an example, or focuses on the issues in China. But there were research studies on the same topic in another country, all right? Maybe in Indonesia they did a study, but its context may be similar to India. Or it was done in the United States, but never done in India. And to me, maybe there is no gap. It's you're extending it, you're replicating it. Or there are theories already. And then also we often see, oh, no one has done it in the banking sector. No one has done this research, again, in hospitality and tourism. But in other industries, fields, similar studies have been done. And results are sometimes almost very similar. So you have to justify the gap, really, and say there is a really real gap. Practice is failing, theories are not answering, so there is a gap, okay? And it can be a major contribution, or it can be an incremental contribution. That's the first thing. Second, an impactful article, it has a very thorough critical literature review, concise critical literature review, summarizing who did what in a chronological critical way and explaining the gap, and then proposing a new model, maybe hypotheses, maybe propositions if it is qualitative research. And then an impactful article should have a really strong methodology. Now in many fields, including hospitality and tourism, one study is not enough. We need to have mixed methods, multi-studies, and prove that your findings are, let's say, contributing to theory, proposing a new theory, developing a new theory, revising existing concepts, and then also offering industry specific areas, specific recommendations to make the practices much better. Okay? So this is really important for an impactful article. Impactful articles are easy to follow, and then also it has to be original, applicable, and references. Again, all the relevant, important references are included. Nothing is missing. And then when impactful articles are published, they get a lot of downloads and citations. Sometimes some articles may take a couple of months or years to get noticed, but some are immediately noticed, especially if it is on a current topic. Okay. And another comment from me, in your life as an academic, you can maybe write only 3, 4, 5 maximum really impactful articles. Okay, don't think like every article you will write will be highly, very, very impactful. That's why going back to the second question, to write an impactful article, you have to read months and months and months and have a focused research agenda, and then have an interdisciplinary approach, multidisciplinary approach, and provide different and new perspectives. And you have to continue reading and apply new methodologies and be an expert in literature review. Then it can be an impactful article. Again, sometimes in our field, in social sciences, maybe in science, it's easier, okay? Because it's easier to measure. They are in a lab, they're producing a drug, a product, a patent. It's easy. In social sciences, sometimes measuring things in our fields is not easy, okay? You can have a research in management, organizational behavior, in education, but still, compared to sciences, it's not easy to actually measure and see the immediate results. Okay? In science, they develop a drug, they test it 2 or 3 years, they can illustrate, document all the results. In social sciences, sometimes it's not easy, but still it's manageable, it can be done, but you have to be really dedicated and work in that area for many years. Okay? Impactful researchers don't become impactful researchers in 1 or 2 years. They take many, many years. If you look at those Nobel Prize winners, they have been working on one area for many, many years and contributing, publishing many articles again and again, and then they work in teams. In summary, to write an impactful article, work in a team, interdisciplinary approach, different new methodologies, and continue working, and then identify a huge gap, and you need to keep learning all the time, I will say. Thank you.
So much for this elaborated answer. And Dr. Mohammed is telling you thank you so much for this session, and they have benefited from it a lot. I'm getting lots and lots of thank yous in the chats. And maybe would you like to take one more question, or we're taking more of your time there, sir?
No, we can have one more question, and then we started late.
Yes. So we have a question from Dr. Just a second, I'll get the whole question. So we have from Dr. S. Basha, and they're saying thank you, Professor. As an academic preparing to commence my PhD journey, I would be grateful for any advice or insights you might be willing to share to help me navigate this path successfully. I think this is the majority of the researchers now, that it's the start. They are always at the start point for masters or for their PhD. Then if I was told before that when they have a good experience and they navigate this path right, they continue on the path of research. And if they don't have like a good experience, maybe a lot of them quit. So what would be the advice that you'd give for these researchers at this stage of the research career?
First of all, before you start your PhD, think about if you like reading, if you like writing, and if you like being criticized. Because in academia, we compete with each other, and we are very good at criticizing and tearing apart each other's work. Okay, so if you don't like being criticized, if you don't like writing, if you don't like reading, and then doing the same thing and getting a lot of rejections, it's not a field for anyone. Okay? Myself, I have more than 230 academic articles, but I I must have received maybe 2,000 rejections. Okay, that's one thing. Second, if possible, pick the right school, and then also pick the right advisor. Your advisor is the most important person. And another issue is you have to be honest and hardworking. PhD, there is no shortcuts. If you do any shortcuts, it comes back and bites you. So you must enjoy, continue reading, never give up, be resilient, and work with your advisor very carefully, and continue reading, writing, and never give up, right? This is what I would say. And also develop yourself in 2-3 research method areas. Research methods are becoming more and more important. Not one research method, multiple methods. You have to be an expert. And technology is great, internet is great. You can do so many things. You can learn so many things from YouTube, from online platforms. Even if your advisor, your committee cannot help, you can train yourself. Okay, so you have to be hungry for knowledge as well and never give up. That will be my humble advice for junior faculty and PhD students. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fevzi, for this great advice. And I would second what you've said, that you have to have the mentality of the researcher. You need to like reading and gaining knowledge. You need to have the ability to write and express your thoughts, your complex thoughts, in a way that you can share your knowledge with others. You have to have the mentality of accepting criticism and taking it positively in order to develop and enhance the quality of the work that you present to your colleagues. You have to have the mentality to give back. As you are a researcher, you depended on others. You have to have the mentality to make an impact and give back to the research community with sharing your knowledge with your peers and colleagues and other researchers. I don't know how to thank you enough for this amazing session and your professionalism and sharing your knowledge and experience with our audiences. I personally benefited a lot, and I'm sure that I'll quote a lot of your words in my sessions and trainings later on. It was personally an honor, and I can see from all the questions and the engagement from the audiences that it was a very engaging session, and they're all thankful to attend. Thank you so much, Dr. Fevzi. And I'm looking forward for much more future collaboration.
I hope so too.
Thank you. It was an honor for all of us. The session was recorded, and yes, and the recording will be shared automatically via webinar to all those who have attended the session. So thank you so much, Dr. Fevzi, and I'm looking forward to meet you and talk to you again and benefit more from your knowledge. Thank you so much.
I hope so. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And if you have any of your comments, please send it to us on the email. And there is a lot of thank yous for you and this informative session. It's much appreciated. It's an impactful webinar, so the comments are all positive. Thank you so much, and have a great day. And we apologize for waking you up that early, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.